Lawmakers have resumed their duty post to continue with the task of legislation and lawmaking. This time, they are inside a newly renovated chamber. The Senate held its plenary on Tuesday in its main chamber after about 2 years of renovation and repairs. There was heated argument during plenary, and lawmakers quarreled over seating arrangements. National Assembly correspondent TVC News reports.
It seemed like a breath of fresh air as lawmakers returned to work in a newly renovated chamber. Everything seemed peaceful as the senators exchanged pleasantries after a month-long holiday from legislative business. President of the Senate went straight into the business of the day, beginning with his welcome address, but he was interrupted by some of his colleagues who were dissatisfied with the seating arrangements. According to the standing rules of the upper legislative chamber, senators are expected to sit in order of their ranking in the Senate. Calm was later restored in the chamber, permitting the President of the Senate to continue his welcome address. Setting the agenda, the President of the Senate lists the priorities ahead, with focus on resolving the challenges of insecurity, hiking petroleum and electricity tariff, and other pressing issues affecting Nigeria's economy.
We have been entrusted with an important role, and now is the time for courageous actions and strategies to drive this role. Together, let us implement a culture of care and integrated approach to combat everything that is wrong with our nation, from poverty to restoration of the dignity of the downtrodden and the protection of our precious natural resources.
The Senate then went into a closed session that lasted more than 2 hours and later adjourned plenary to the 7th of May to address concerns raised over seating arrangements and other technical glitches within the chamber. As lawmakers settle into a more conducive environment to carry out their duty of lawmaking, their focus will be legislating to improve the lives of those they represent at a time of dire economic concerns and hardship caused by ongoing reforms. TVC News, Abuja.
Now, for more updates on the plenary today, the Senate spokesman, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, joins me on the news. Good to have you join us.
Good evening. Thank you very much for
having me. Good evening. So let me start by congratulating you on your resumption in the new chamber today. But, you know, that was quickly overshadowed by the arguments over seats, and Nigerians were wondering what exactly is going on. Explain to us what the seating arrangement should be like.
Yes, thank you very much. There was never any heated or a kind of exchange of tirades over the seating arrangement in the Senate chamber. It is already established that the protocol for sitting in the legislative chamber anywhere in the world is according to a kind of protocol. And what is that protocol? First of all, we talk about the leadership of the assembly, either it is House of Representatives or it is the Senate, or even House of Assembly of the state. Even the local government councillors forum, which is the assembly of the local government. Then after that one, we talk about the ranking senators, ranking reps, ranking assemblymen, and those are the ones that have been in that position, maybe who are the senators over the years, over the other terms, and so on and so forth. Then we give them that kind of priority. Then the rest just follow. So the seating arrangement in the chamber followed that protocol, that arrangement. Nothing departed from it. And even where we are using temporarily before, we came back today to the newly renovated chamber. So that was the protocol, that was the pattern, that was the arrangement. So there was never any reason for any argument, either hot or cold argument, to even come up at all. The only thing is that today was the first day that many senators will be visiting that newly renovated, rejuvenated chamber, which had already been altered, both in shape
if I may come in, Mr. Adaramodu, just a minute.
Yes.
Because you said this is the first time that some of those senators will be visiting that chamber, and you are talking about first-time senators. But the senators who were, arguing today are four-term senators, and they have been in that chamber, and they felt like it was their right to sit in a particular place. How important is it for them, being four-term senators, to sit in front, and how has that also been resolved?
Okay, now let me tell you something. The chamber initially was in 3 columns before it was renovated. Now it is in 4 columns. So definitely the alignment and realignment of the city will be very different from the 3-column city. And then the temporary chamber that we were using was in 2 columns. So definitely there's going to be alignment and realignment. So today what I mean is that for the first time, many senators were just resuming to the newly renovated chamber, which had been aligned and realigned. So by the time they got there, everybody was trying to look for his name, where his name was. But there was never a departure from that tradition, that sitting protocol, that after the leadership of the Senate, then follows by the ranking senators. Then after that, new senators. It followed that pattern. And that was all. So nothing new happened today. Nothing new was added. There was no abracadabra at all. But when the senator
Senator Daramode, apologies again for jumping in, because one would have thought that all of this would have been resolved before, the resumption today. But I want to get to an issue that really matters.
It was. Now, let me.
Hold on.
If I may interject, please. If I may interject.
Senator Daramode, I have just about 2 minutes left. All right. Go ahead, please.
Sorry, if I may interject, this chairman, Senate Committee on Senate Services had already even sent the prototype to our phone, to us online, that we should just look at it, then critique if there's any area you think should have been improved upon. It has already been sent to all of us before we even came to the chamber this morning.
So the senators were already aware.
Not look at it. So they
yes,
were already aware. It has already been sent to all of us. And then we have a platform where they even put it. And they even told us how those seats will be distributed. And we all saw it. We all had everything about it. So nothing new happened today. Nothing new happened today.
All right, sir. So I want
to say is that it is not where any question.
I apologize, because Nigerians would not forgive me if I let you go without asking you this question. Being a representative of the people, and what really matters to Nigerians now is the issue of fuel scarcity. It is really biting hard on Nigerians, and you represent the people, and that's the senators. What are you doing to address this situation?
Yes, like the electricity tariff. Yesterday, the Power Committee met, and they even had a public debate on the issue of increase in the tariff. The Minister for Power was called in, and several other stakeholders in the power sector. So they came in there. So they are going to give us the report of that pally that they had yesterday. The same way, the issue of petroleum matter has already been referred to the relevant committee that is going to come up with their findings to the Senate, which we are going to consider next week immediately. We resume plenary on Tuesday. So that one is going to, we are not going to abandon Nigerians. We are in the Senate for Nigerians, and then we are going to make sure that anything that is going to impugn on the welfare and that is going to inflict difficulty and suffering on Nigerians, we are not going to align with it, and then that is part of our legislative agenda, and we cannot depart from that one. That one is sure, and then Nigerians will hear from us.
Thank you so much for your time, Senate spokesman, and apologies for every time that I had to butt in, but I needed to get to this particular question. Senate spokesman, Senator Yemi Daramode, thank you again for your time.
Thank you very seriously. I'm grateful.